Radio.
Hey girl, I've been calling you all day. Where you at and what are you doing?
Oh, just sitting here enjoying a glass of Moscato, chilling and relaxing, deep inside the stepper's comfort zone of swagger and lace with DJ Stretch.
Oh yeah? How can I be done?
Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. It's your girl, Patrice Moncel, and welcome to the Truth Now Talk Show on Hot 89.1 FM WSLS on your streaming dial. I'm excited today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am. I am excited, excited, excited. For all you guys that know that last week we were supposed to interview Big Gene Deal, the former bodyguard of CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment, Mr. P. Diddy himself. However, we had to reschedule. So today we're going to bring Gene Deal in shortly, and we're going to get this interview going. I'm excited to be here. I want to give a shout out to my sister, Antonita Lachey. She's my partner in crime who is on hiatus today. But I want to give a shout out to her and also give a shout out to Stretch. He's backstage doing his thing, Mr. Engineer Extraordinaire. So he's holding it down to make sure everything goes well with this interview today. I'm excited, you guys. I hope y'all are in here to tune in to listen to this interview with Big Gene Deal, former Bad Boy Entertainment bodyguard to the CEO, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Puffy. I think he now goes by Love or whatever name you want to call him. Big Gene Deal was the right-hand man of P. Diddy, y'all. But without further ado, I'm going to get right into reading Big Gene Deal's bio, and then I'm going to bring him in with an introduction, and we're going to go right into the interview when he's come on. He's going to come on in a few minutes, and I'm going to bring him in respectively. But in the meantime and in between time, I am going to read his thorough bio. All right, y'all, I got to put my spectacles on, got to put those other set of eyes on so that I can make sure that I'm reading this correctly. Okay, Gene Deal, aka also known as Big Gene, was born in St. Louis, Missouri, raised in Wellston, a small subdivision of St. Louis County. He began his basketball career there, leading the high school to 2 conference championships. He also had the honor of leading the state of Missouri in rebounding during 80-81 basketball season. He started his college basketball circuit at Alcorn State. Shout out to all the Alcorn States in the SWAC, which is the Southwest Athletic Conference, but finished his last 2 years at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, the same school as former NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, and NBA great New York Knicks Gerald Wilkins. After winning two Southern Conference championships in 1986, Gene Deal graduated with a degree in American Literature on August 18th of 1996. 3 days later, he made New York City his home. Gene had been visiting New York City since 1982 with a former girlfriend from Harlem. Gene fell in love with the streets of Harlem and decided to make New York his new home. With his basketball skills and pragmatic persona, he began a street ball favorite, winning the Kingdom Championship, which is 112th Street. Shout out to New York City. The Kingdom was mentioned by Jay-Z on the song New York featuring Alicia Keys, and EBC Classic at Rucker Park with the Cardiac Kids. Rucker Park mentioned by Fat Joe on his song Lean Back. Gene went on to start a street crew with Durrell Thomas, which is AKA D. Ferg, father of ASAP Ferg, and others called The Same Gang, Rap Mogul. The Same Game comes Rap Mogul Sean Combs, who became a member in the summer of 1990 to help advance the bad boy persona and gain street credibility. In an in depth interview, Gene will revisit his past days as one of the top bodyguards and personal security for some of hip hop elites. He will also talk about incidents in reference to New York drug kingpins who were infiltrating the New York music industry. Watch as Gene Deal gives a play by play recap of legendary rapper Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace's last days alive before he was brutally murdered, as well as a host of tales from his days in the business. All of the rumors and speculations will be put to bed as Gene gives his eyewitness testimonies. Gene will also was introduced to several other projects, the Chronicles and Confessions of the Bodyguard, Revoke and Restore, and last but not least, the game show I Write the Songs. Upon interview, all ideas will be shared in depth. Collectively, he also has Raw Deal, the last BIG night is and the last BIG night is a sort of like a docu series, and he has garnered 14 million plus views and been featured on World Star Hip Hop, Bossip, Hot 97 FM.com, Vlad TV, XX Large Magazine, and a host of other blogs and media channels. The Raw Deal series will feature stories from celebrity bodyguards, both past and present, that have watched over and protected some of the biggest stars in film, music, sports, television, and entertainment as a whole. And also, Raw Deal is a proposed docu-series detailing the life of bodyguard Gene Deal, a retired parole officer with 27 years of experience with the New York State Department of Corrections. Gene has also worked for over 20 years in the private sector and investigation field. While in the music industry, he would bodyguard the likes of Scott Storch, Nate Dogg, DJ K Slay, Fat Joe, Jennifer Lopez, Shaquille O'Neal, and the late Notorious B.I.G. Furthermore, the bulk of the time was spent working for Bad Boys Records CEO Sean P. Diddy Combs. All right, y'all. I said a lot here. And let me just tell you, I have followed Big Gene personally on all his social media platforms, and I'm so honored to have him. I reached out to him, and he obliged, and I appreciate that because he kept his word as a man, showed to be true, a scholar and a gentleman. I appreciate him for coming on and allowing me to interview him. He could have been anywhere else and done it with anybody else, but he chose to do it with yours truly, Patrice Moncel, and the Truth Now talk show on Hot 89.1 FM WSLS, guys. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. We're going to get ready in about 5 minutes to bring Big Gene on so that he can tell his story of his days of working for Bad Boy Entertainment and personally being the bodyguard personally for Sean P. Diddy Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, aka now he goes by Love, so I'm being told. But in the meantime and in between time, you guys just sit back, relax, get you something to drink. If you're just getting off work, grab you some popcorn, whatever it is that you do after you get off work. But tune in, stay tuned in because it's about to go down. I'm excited. That's my book bag right there in the background that you guys see. So don't pay that no mind. I'm excited about this interview, and I'm going to give a special shout out to Big Gene and thank him in advance for allowing the Truth Now talk show to have this exclusive interview. I have followed him on his Big Gene Deal cooking and conversation show because we're gonna talk about it, guys. He is a mad cook. I think he got something like a chef up under his belt as well. He just hiding that one, y'all, because on his Big Gene Deal show, cooking and conversation, he be conversating and cooking up some stuff. And I mean, I'm telling you, it be looking good. It looks so delicious. And I want him to tell you guys on how he got his background on where he learned how to cook. I know he got a lot of history being born and raised in St. Louis. So shout out to all of the St. Louis peeps. Shout out to all the New York peeps. But yeah, so it's a lot to learn, as well as he is a retired parole officer for the state of New York Department of Corrections. He did over what 27 years as a correctional officer. So hey, guys, I'm sure he's seen and done a lot in his life. But I am so interested in to know about his athletic abilities. It looks like that he was a pretty good baller back in the day, and he played with or went to school with some greats, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, NBA great, New York Knicks Gerald Wilkins. So it seems like, he rubbed noses with some of the greats of our time in the athletic department in sports and in entertainment as well, specifically being the personal bodyguard for Puff Daddy. There's a lot that I want to ask Gene and hoping that he can set the record straight on some things that people are questioning regarding around his days with Puff Daddy and him being there when that infamous day happened. And I believe it was it the Soul Train Awards or after the Soul Trains Awards, and they was going to either a Source Vibe party or Source some magazine or Vibe magazine party, and that in LA, and that is where our legendary Notorious B.I.G. was murdered. Big Gene was there that night, personally bodyguarding Puff Daddy. So I want him to make sure when he comes on that he set that record straight of some things that are in question, uh, things that people are questioning. Why he's coming out now, telling his story, and just get his side. He was there to witness it. He was there firsthand, and just to hear his truth, just to hear his truth. So that's what I'm interested in. So he'll be on in about 2 minutes, so we can definitely hear that from, as they say, AKA the horse's mouth, right, y'all? So I'm excited. Big Gene, thank you so much again for this opportunity, my brother King. I appreciate it. You have so much history, so much to tell, and we want to hear it. We want to hear it, sir. So yeah, this is the place to be. This is the place to be, y'all. Grab your popcorn, grab your beer, grab your wine, grab your drinks. Whatever you got to grab, because he's about to be in the place. I'm just gonna get a little bit comfortable here so I can be in my interview mode. Shout out again to my sister Antonita Lachey, and shout out to Stretch. Thank you guys for allowing this platform, allowing me to be able to interview him. I miss my sister Antonita. I wish she was here. She's my partner, my interviewing partner on the Truth Now Talk show. We want to bring our followers over here to this new platform where we will be interviewing lots of people in the industry, all kinds of industry, all kinds of entertainment, sports. We do it all. We talk about it all. So yeah, you guys just stick with us. It's gonna be a stone gas. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do we got Big Gene coming on or backstage or anything? Let's do this. I'm so ready to do this because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have him. I'm already with my questions. I got my interview crown on. So, get my voice, get the little tickle out my voice so I can be ready for Big Gene. Welcome to Hot 89.1 FM WSLS on your streaming dial. We are so ready, guys, and I'm so excited. So, literally, without further ado, hopefully, Big Gene will be coming on here ASAP.
Well, I'm not Big Gene, but I see you excited. I was just
I am.
backstage,
I
and
really am. I'm
we just
excited, DJ Stretch. I'm so excited because been waiting on this opportunity.
while we wait. I know you had to go ahead and get your breath of fresh air, get you something to drink. Go
I got
get you some get you
look.
some
I got my
Crown.
water. I got my water right here. Look, I wish I had pulled me a glass of wine, right?
See,
But
and
yeah,
you got time. You got time now. You got time
But
to pour
but
your
I
glass of
said
wine.
I wanted to keep my head on straight, because sometimes wine make me a little, I be a little mellow, I be a little, and I didn't want to be a little bit too much subdued by the wine. So I said, nah, let me just drink the water, and we'll see what's up. But
And then
yeah,
and then you're gonna get some wine after you drink the water. I'm just gonna tell you right now. You gonna get some wine. I'm just gonna go and tell you. So
right, right.
now we'll get you a little drink or something and kick back and relax.
I
I know
know
you're
that's right.
excited.
I know
I know
that's
you're
right.
excited. And
I
and, and
just
I'm
I
ex-
Yeah, I just talked to him about an hour or so ago, and he has the link. He's ready to go. I told him, to give me the time because I wanted to do an introduction, a proper introduction for him. So I also wanted to, kind of bring it in, kind
well,
of bring him in to his introduction as he was coming on. So,
well, you running the show.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm running the show, right?
Hey, guess what? Guess what? This is what I
What's
want you
that?
to. I want you to welcome Big Gene Deal.
OMG, Big G Deal is in the building, y'all. None other than
Hey,
what's
how
up,
y'all doing?
King?
Hey,
How
how
you
y'all doing?
doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. Thank you
Hey,
so much for joining
Big,
the platform.
Big Gene, I got to go. So y'all
All
have
right.
fun. I'll be back though, but I got to
All
go.
right.
Peace
Yes,
out.
sir.
Thank you, DJ Stretch. I appreciate you. Um, Big J and King, first of all, I really want to thank you for blessing me with your presence and blessing me with the honor of being able to interview you. I know you are a very busy man, and I know I've been after you for some months now. You probably said this lady getting on my nerve, like what she want. But listen, King, I'm honored. Thank you so much for coming on the Truth Now Talk Show on Hot 89.1 FM WSLS out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm so honored to have you. If it's anything that you want to say before we go right into the interview, if you want to send shots out, you want to welcome some of your followers that follow you, you can do that at this moment.
Well, first of all, I want to apologize for last week. It was a different. It was a time zone thing. I had ripped and ran all week and all day that particular day, and I had the hours and the time mixed up. And then when we spoke, I knew you said it was a 3 hours difference because I called you at the right time on our time, but it was the wrong time on you guys' time. And I know that you said your listeners was there and prepared for, to ask me questions or whatever like that, or however the platform is ran. And I fell asleep. I'm old, y'all. I ain't as young as I used to be. But
I know,
I
I
truly
know
want to
that's right.
apologize for your listeners who was there, wanting to hear me on the show, and I thank God that He kept me in His favor so I can make it today. So,
I appreciate that, and apology accepted. Hey, look, things happen. I know you had told me you were on vacation as well, so I understand you got in a very lullaby state, with the difference with the time zones, and I understand how that can happen. I'm just honored that you still accepted to come on a later time. So I want to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. It's none other than former, what is it, Bad Boy Entertainment,
I
former
was just
body.
I was only I did a lot of security and bodyguard work for different people, but
Okay,
it was basically like the guys that I bodyguard and I was with and I did security for, it was like Chaz Mims, who was he was featured on American Gangster for BET, but they
I
said he
saw that.
robbed 160 banks. And, he got his, went to jail, came back out, had this big production company called Black Hands Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Doing $1 million deals for everybody, and he became an icon in the rap community out here in in New York. He even also did a little management stuff for 50 Cent. Uh, Graf was on, I think, Love and Hip Hop, and he did a lot of like negotiations and deals. And they was actually doing a movie on him before he passed, and that was in the working. And I mean, like they were shooting the movie at the time of his passing. God bless the dead.
Oh yeah,
I,
rest in
I was
peace to Chaz.
I was there for Scott Storch. I did a lot of people. Scott Storch, DJ K Slay, and I think my main top celebrity, if it was, I did a lot of independent things where you might do it for a day or two here and there. But I worked for Puff about I would say close to 12 years. That was
Oh
him as
wow.
P Diddy, Doctor Brother Love, or whatever you want to call himself now. And I was actually the individual who helped pull Notorious Big out the car when he was murdered.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I read your bio, and I tell you, you have a plethora of experience and skill set. I read even from your basketball days, your athletic abilities. I read your days as a parole officer for the state of New York. You retired from there, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
27 years
I did
as
27
a
years.
parole. Yeah, wow. So listen, you have been a pillar in the community, especially in New York City for years and years now. And your humble beginnings, you are born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, correct?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis,
And I got
Missouri.
and I got all this Chicago shit on right now.
Well, that's my hometown, Chi-Town. So hey,
Oh, that's
you
what I
already know.
want. I
I
want that for
appreciate that.
you.
I appreciate that. Good looking out. Shout out to Chi-Town and the Chicago
Yeah.
Bears, Cubs, White Sox, like all of that. Yeah.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
listen, kind of walk us through, kind of walk my audience through on your humble beginnings of how you went from your athletic abilities to getting a job as a parole officer, and how in the world did you come into uh, being the head of security at Bad Boy Entertainment? Kind of walk us through
Well,
that process.
I wasn't the head of security at Bad Boy Entertainment. At one time, he only had one security person, and that was me. When he first started, he was doing parties. So, but let me
Ah,
just start right here. Growing up in St. Louis, I know everybody have a story that they can have you crying and collect the money for. But as a youth, I thought my grandparents was my parents. My mother was a young lady who got caught up with one of the star athletes in St. Louis back in the day. That was my father, God bless him there, Wendell Page Robinson. He was about 20 years old. She was 15, going on 16 years old. we look at that, we probably shun that, but back in those days, you know, a 15-year-old young lady was considered a young lady
Yep.
or a woman.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I know
So
about that.
she got caught up with him, and she had me at the age of 16. But my
Can't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Hello?
I got you.
Is it
I
fine
can
now?
hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Uh, let me just go back to media. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I can't hear myself, but let me just, you know, nevertheless, my grandparents, who, um, my grandfather was real strict. He was a real strict man, and he ended up, you know, shipping my mother off and keeping me right. And short story, I didn't see my mother again until I got 12 years old.
Oh wow.
And she came into. I can't hear you, so I got to do something about this. Hold on, let me see. Not doing anything. Can you hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
can't hear you though.
I hear you.
I can't hear you.
You have it on mute. Take it off mute. There you go.
Patrice, I can't hear nothing you're saying. I'm sorry about that. Do you know how to rectify it? I can't hear you.
DJ Stretch, if you hear me, can you try to get the audio?
Okay, I'm back in. Can you guys hear
I
me?
can
Can
hear
you hear
you,
me?
Stretch.
Okay, Patrice.
I can hear you.
Okay,
I
well
can't hear
then.
Patrice.
Oh, you can't hear her, so it's between you guys. So let me see if I can work
Yeah.
something. Let me see if I can. Everybody's mic is good. Uh, his mic is good. Let me see. Gene, your mic setting. No, you're good. Everybody's good with the mic. Hold on, let me see if I can. Now, can you hear each other now? Because everybody's mic is good.
Can you hear me now,
I can't hear
Gene?
nothing Patrice is saying.
He don't hear me.
I can
What
hear
was it?
I
him.
hear him, but he don't hear me.
Gene, can you can you go out and come back in right quick? Can you do that while you're in your car? Because you may be. Are you traveling?
No, I'm sitting in the car because I was actually at the barber shop. Hold on.
So I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
have
is.
him to go out and come right back in. He may be able to hear.
She says, "Could you go out and come right back in?"
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. I'll click when you go out and come back in. I'll click you back on.
Tell her to talk now. Let me see. Can I see her? Can
Can
I
you
hear
hear
her?
me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
You can't hear her. You can't hear her now, can you?
I can't hear her.
Can you see her?
I can see her perfect.
He can see you perfect, but he can't hear you. Um,
I don't know.
I don't know what it is because everything's working right over here.
Yeah, tell him to go. Yeah, tell him to go out and come back in. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties with the audio we're having. Big Gene's popped out. He's going to pop right back in. So just sit tight. We're going to continue the interview. Audio
So,
happens, things happen.
I can hear her now.
But
are you in
are
there
you
now,
hear me
right?
now?
I can hear her now.
Awesome.
We had to take him
All
out and
right,
bring him back.
guys, we got Big Gene right back on the wire here. Go ahead, Big Gene. Continue your story.
Well, just a short story, you know, because they could find all this out in my book, Patrice, that's coming out. But
Well, we
anyway,
don't want to. We don't want to reveal too much because I'm going to talk about that.
right. So, short story. I met my mother at 12. I moved out to a little subdivision called Wellston, Missouri. Stayed there with her until I was 18 years old. My high school coach was a alma mater of Alcorn State University, and he tricked me in going down there in '81, where I played a little ball. Uh, they redshirted me. I went on to play junior college ball. Ended up at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Played with NBA star Gerald Wilkins. in a
Okay.
championship team, and then end up coming to New York. About to go overseas, bust my knee open, and said I wasn't gonna play ball anymore, and end up being an investigator for child abuse, working in the school district as a attendance coordinator, dropout prevention program, and did that until I had enough um, what they call social service credits in order to go be a parole officer. Became a parole officer and did that for 27 years. As a parole officer, I worked uh, some security jobs on the seven because my kids didn't go to public school. My kids went to private school, so had to be able to afford that. So worked the second job, still trying to be a father, still trying to help people that I was dealing with, and got into the entertainment business by being with developing this crew called the Same Gang, which we used to give parties, boat rides, trips, and all these other different things. And Puff was intern over at Uptown
Uptown.
Records. A friend of mine who was a part of the Same Gang, D. Ferg, his son is an artist now called ASAP Ferg. He developed the cat for Uptown Records and the symbol for Bad Boy, and we
Oh
ended up
wow.
bringing Puff into the Same Gang, and he was doing parties at the Red Zone, the building, in different places, and uh, when he got after the City College tragedy, that's when 9 people died. He had gave that party over there. I stopped dealing with him, and then he had a problem with Suge and them because of the East Coast West Coast thing. And one of the guys that I knew asked me to come work for him, and that was it. And so
Okay.
that's
So
how.
that's how you
Uh,
got with Bad Boy Entertainment. Now,
right now, it's
when you
Puff
were
personal bodyguard with my own contract.
okay, and I want to make that clear because I think some people there's a misconception that I think some people think that you were actually Biggie's personal bodyguard as well, that you actually was hired to bodyguard Biggie as well. Can you clear that up?
Not at all. Only time I ever watched out for Big is Puff say, "Yo, Gene, watch out for Big." And if you
Okay.
see what happens at that party at the night Big died, you see me behind Big. That's because Puff told me to watch him. But then when Puff tell me to come on, let's go, Gene, I'm going with Puff. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing happened to
Yeah.
Big when I was watching him upstairs. You know what I'm saying? And which he was actually a sitting duck if anything could have happened to him. But nothing happened to him when we was upstairs. So
Did you go
yeah,
ahead.
because I
Did
was
you
watching him.
have yeah. Did you have a casual or friendly relationship with Biggie once you came on Bad Boy Entertainment?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Big used to joke. You know what? I was that. Big them never knew I was from St. Louis. You know what I mean? Because I was, at the time, if you look at the pictures back there, I dressed flashy. I was flashy. I had jewels, all that stuff like that. And if you didn't know that I was a parole officer, you would think I was the hustling type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But never did that. Never put that kind of energy out into the universe ever. You understand? But my dress, my clothes, and my jewels didn't say that. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
So
right.
Big used to always joke against uh, uh, Manhattan guys from New York City because he's from Brooklyn, and they always went at each other. So like he used to always talk about me, but then like I'll come in the room, I'll be like the stuff I wore at Soul Train. He looked at me, he said, "Now you look like you from Brooklyn."
Okay, I guess you was dressing Brooklyn boss now,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, 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 yeah. He said, "Yo, now you look like you from Brooklyn." You know what I'm
So
saying? So
was Dapper Dan, was he like some people that dressed some Bad Boy Entertainment people, like,
later he
the
did.
guys?
Later he did, but people who used to dress Bad Boy was a clique out at the time called 5001.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow. Was it
what's called
was this
what car
black
really
owned?
made them big? Master P, but it was 5001. They were from New
Oh,
York.
okay. Okay. So now tell us about the night that led up to what was it, the Soul Train Awards, a night in LA, and you bodyguarding uh Puff Daddy. Now walk us through that, because I think the biggest thing that and the misconception is about that is I've seen some of the comments, the things that people have said, and telling they what they think is the story, and you were there. You actually were there. You actually know what happened. I follow you on your all your social media platforms. I follow you on Facebook, IG. I follow you on Big Gene Cooking and Conversation. I saw Raw Deal, the last big night. I saw all three, so I know the story. There's a lot of our listeners on here that don't know the story, but they are fans of Notorious B.I.G. And that was the number one thing that I was asked, was that just you were there as a witness to tell your side of the story of what the misconceptions is of you was there to bodyguard Big, and people just allowed him to just not get help he needed, to die, and it was a setup and all of that. Can you kind of just walk us through that process of what happened that night after the Soul Train Awards in LA?
Well, the night that Big, you talking about the weekend that Big died, right?
Yes.
Because it's two. It was one with the Tupac situation, and then after Tupac died, it was the one with the Big. And I'll walk you what you just asked. But let me just say this: when people want to speak on things and talk about stuff, if I came out here and gave you all the information, and I did part 1, 2, and 3, if people was really interested in that much big of a fans of Big, they would go and listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Because that tells you everything from
And
the
I
whole.
encourage you guys, you all to go and listen to it. It's on YouTube. It's called Raw Deal, The Last Big Night, episodes 1, 2, and 3 with Big Gene, where he gives a step-by-step account of what happened that night and what led up to the night that Biggie was murdered. So I encourage you
And,
guys to go and check it out.
and Pat, I'm only going to do this for you because anytime somebody else asks me to do that, you know, I'm not going to keep repeating myself when
Right,
I gave it away. The stories that I give people, the intimate detail that I give people, you understand? People either put this in a book or people be trying to sell it to somebody. You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If people had my experience or did what I did in this whole entertainment game, they'd be like, yo, listen here, um, we got to do a documentary. We got to do a. I spent my own money and did that, have somebody, tape it for me, have somebody, edit it in the whole 9 yards and gave it to the people. And gave it to the people. And I still get ridiculed behind it. But
yeah, that's true.
I'm going to take you from Andre Zarrell's house, okay?
Okay.
We were all at it was Puff called me and said that Paul called me and said, yo, listen here, we're gonna leave from Andre Harrell's house. Puff was there with Kim. At first, me and Puff was staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel, right? And he said, yo, Gene, I'm not coming back to
Now
the
is uh,
huh?
don't mean to cut you off now. When you say Puff was with Kim, not little Kim, but Kim Porter.
Kim Porter. Yeah, his
Okay.
mother. Right. He was he we no, he wasn't at the Beverly. He was at the Beverly Hills Hotel with Sally Richardson.
Okay.
And then he went over to Andre Harrell's house where he had Kim Porter staying, and he told me he wasn't gonna come back to the hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I said, all right, cool. So I'm happy. I can order whatever I want to order. You know what I'm saying? I got this whole presidential suite to myself. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right,
and,
right.
and he's not coming back here. He's not coming back. So Paul called me and said, yo, Puff is leaving from. We leaving from Andre Harrell's house. You know what I'm saying? The limo driver got the information. Just come over there. So when I went over there, I had already had some intel from two different individuals. A guy named Unique. He has a company called Mecca Audio. Uh,
I heard a unique.
Yeah, Dougie Fresh had did that song, Hey Ho, all right. And if you listen to the beginning of the song, it says, enough respect to Mecca Audio Crew. enough respect from 112. I was
Right.
from the block 112. Now, what happened was is that Dougie Fresh came and gave us some information talking about Unique had a contract out on him for $10,000, which was not true. But he
Okay.
told us that because he wanted to talk to Unique, and a friend of mine was a good friend of Dougie Fresh, and I was a good friend of Unique's,
Gotcha.
right? So I called Unique to come down to my man Fish store, and he had a game room across the street, and so Doug could talk to him, because Doug was, you know, knew that Unique was some kind of, he was a kingpin. He was a drug dealer kingpin that did 26 years in the federal penitentiary.
Wow.
So I brought them together. They discussed it. They talked about it and everything like that. And it was a radio host there that day, and she witnessed the whole thing. That was Miss Jones. I think she was at Hot 97 at the time. Miss Jones, she did that song with AG, Sugar Free.
Yeah, Miss
Right,
Jones. I know you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
right. So I held that. I mean, Unique had called me from the federal jail through another person. They told us to watch out and vest up because those guys was trying to kill us in Cali. They was gonna come to kill us in Cali. Then I spoke to Chaz. Chaz told me, and then one dude who was down with Jodeci told me. He told me that night. Chaz told me that night or the night before, and Unique had told me that Thursday.
So you
Right.
getting all this information and from these different people that obviously got some street cred, got know some people. And what was your take? What was your response like? What did you do with that information?
Well, first of all, we didn't have no security out there, so I called the president of Bad Boy, who was Kirk Burrows at the time, and I told Kirk Burrows, "Yo, Kirk Burrows, we need some security, brother. We need more security." I was the only one on Puff, and this guy named Kenny, who was security personnel, he was driving us. You know what I'm saying? And Big only had two people on him, Paul Alford and another guy from Inglewood. So I called Kirk Burrows. Kirk Burrows told me Puff said he ain't hiring no more security. All
Wow.
right. So now I make it over to Andre Harrell's house. Paul Alford is there. Who else? Chuck Bone, a couple of interns from Bad Boy, Kim, Puff, uh, a few other people in the house. So I come in the house and I say, "Yo, Puff, I gotta talk to you." I said, "Paul, what Puff at?" I said, "I gotta talk to him." So I screamed Puff's name out. See, I may have been security, but you know what? A part of the same gang, I was one of the top dudes in that. You understand? So Puff always seemed like a little nephew. So when he talked crazy or talked something to somebody else, he wouldn't do that to me.
Right.
You understand? So
Right.
everybody looked at it like I was like his security personnel. I was like a big uncle at one time. And then you can even ask Jennifer Lopez. When Jennifer Lopez got introduced to me, she said, "Yo, this is Big Gene. It's like my uncle." That's how he made the
Gotcha.
introduction to me and Jennifer Lopez. Because
Right.
when he used to curse in front of his mama, I used to check his ass.
Wow. He used to curse in front of his mom.
Yeah, he,
And
he, he did. He cursed out a couple of times, and I said,
what?
and I told him, I said, "My man, let me tell you something. Next time I hear you talk to your mother like that, I'm gonna beat the shit out you, cause you ain't gonna bring nothing but bad luck onto us." Excuse me for my profanity. We're on the radio. I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Wow.
So,
That's wow.
so that's how our relationship was. You know what I'm saying? And anybody know me and anybody been around me, they know I don't go for the nonsense. I used to joke and talk about him, right in his face, and have fun and do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now when I get over to the thing, I say, "Yo, Puff." He said, "Yo, what, G?" I said, "Come here, I need to speak to you, man." He said, "Yo," so he stood at the top of the stairs. It was him and Kim up there. Both of them had white robes on. And he had the BB on his robe. Everybody thought it was some bad boy. No.
Sound went out. There you. There you go. There
Hello?
you go. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
Yeah. I should have put this on. I should have put this phone on something.
It's it does that when somebody trying to call you.
Hey, I'm on. I'm doing an interview right now. I'm gonna call you back. Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
So I'm sorry about that. Uh,
So him
long
and
story
him
short,
and him and
him and
Kim
Kim
was
was up
standing
there,
upstairs.
and then I say, "Yo, Pump." Yeah, what, Gene? I say, "Yo, man, I just got some intel. These guys gonna try to come kill us tonight." He said, "Gene, I don't
Wow.
want to hear that shit." He said, "Gene, if you don't want to go, you ain't gotta go."
So he was even telling you as his personal security guard,
And he
bodyguard,
and he knew
that
I was the only one who had guns out there.
and he would tell you if you don't want to go,
You ain't gotta
don't
go.
go, and he don't want to hear what you're saying.
Right. He said, "Gene, I don't want to hear that shit. If you don't want to go, you ain't gotta go."
Continue. Wow.
And all this is in the last big night. So I'm gonna break it down short. So then I go into the room where all the guys is at, and I just start beating on the table. And the one dude said, "Yo, Gene, what's wrong?" I said, "Man, these niggas gonna come and try to kill us tonight." And he started saying, "We locking low, we locking low." I said, "I don't see none of you niggas locking. I don't see none of y'all low. Nothing." I got up from the table. I had to make a phone call to the block. Got up out the table, walked outside. Guess who there? Big Little C's, D-Rock, and a cat named Tone.
And
Long story,
none of them were packing.
none of them was packing. Long story short, I tell Big, I say, "Yo, Big, some niggas gonna try to come kill us tonight, bro." And Big ain't say nothing. He was quiet. And Lil C said, "Gene, go ahead on with that cop shit. You think you know everything." I said to Lil C's, I said to him, I said, "Bruh, you need to get you a GED. You know what that is?" He said, "What?" I said, "A good enough degree. Say they don't cheat you out your money like they did your man right here." And I pointed at Big. And Big
Oh
said,
wow.
"Yo, G, you better go ahead on with that shit before I have Tone and D-Rock hold you and let Lil C's get his shit off." That's his exact word. And I said, "All that shit sound good. It may make you feel good, but I'm letting you know it won't be healthy." And when I said that shit, Puff was coming out the door talking about, "Let's go."
Wow.
We all jumped in the car. It was 23 of us all together. When
Well,
Big got shot and
obviously,
killed, it was only 12 niggas with us because all of them had left to go up to Steve Stout's party.
wow. Well, obviously, you had been saying and warning them before for Lil C's to even make that comment to you about going with that
Oh
cop
yeah,
shit.
I talked to D-Rock a couple of days before that because when I first that Thursday when I heard it from Unique, I went in the studio and told D-Rock, "Man, y'all don't come nowhere where we at, bro. It's gonna be dangerous. Don't come out." We had that conversation. Me and D-Rock had that conversation, and that was Big's right hand
Wow.
man.
Yeah. So
So,
then
Pat,
y'all
can we
get in the
just talk
car.
about? Uh huh. Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can we talk about some other stuff? Because they could go
Absolutely.
watch this, Pat. Because you could give me any other questions. I don't. Every time I go through that, I relive it. You know what I'm
I,
saying? And
I
the long
understand.
story, short, I'll give you this much. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff they trying to portray and tell y'all like somebody. Every picture you see on television, every documentary, they have a car driving up beside us. The car wasn't driving up beside us. That car was parked on the corner.
I
One
was
of
going
the
to ask
guys
you
told,
about the movies and the documentaries. Is there any, what percentage you say to that is true as far as the movie on Big's life and the documentary and the stories that people told on there?
well, the story, most of it is, I'll say it's like 65, or it could be 50-50 circuit because you got to realize it's a dramatization. They got to make it entertaining. But that shit about a car driving up next to us, that driving up the next to Big, it was not like that. The car was already parked on the corner. All he did was shoot and then turn the corner.
Were you portrayed in any of the movies or documentaries? If it, did they ever talk to you?
They never talked to me on none of them. Right?
A witness that was there, they never
They
talked
never
to you.
talked to me because what happened was is that they wanted to portray it the way they wanted to portray it. They wanted to put it the way they wanted to put it. And with the murder rap and some of that and that other thing they did, what I said did not correlate with what they wanted to put out. You understand?
I got you.
You know, because you got to realize is that anybody who ever been to Beverly Hills know that ain't no gangbanger coming to Beverly Hills, killing nobody, and trying to get back to Watts, Compton, Inglewood, or wherever he live at. They not doing that in Beverly Hills.
Right.
And it was already a shooting prior to that where somebody shot and drove off to get everybody on the other end of on the other side of the museum. We was
This was
on
the same night.
the same night. Now you and I both know anytime a gunplay, why the helicopters wasn't in the air.
Yeah, especially in L.A.
And you know that our people was the one at that Peterson Museum. Why the video cameras wasn't working? Why is the heavily guarded security wasn't there? Our people in a museum that got cars that cost $1.2 million. They drinking, partying, and the cameras and the security stuff is not working. And the nearby security stuff in the area, somebody got that footage, somebody got that information. They don't want it to be known. Why is
Right.
it that cops lied to the FBI when they said they showed me the picture of the Muslim? You understand? And they lied and they lied to the FBI agent and said they never showed me that. You understand?
Yeah.
Me puffing a Muslim right there, who Lil C's laid a finger and said a Muslim shot big. Why did
And
they
that
lie
was
and say they never showed me that picture?
and
See,
that was the same guy that you described to the police and FBI, correct?
yeah, it's the same guy afterwards. That's the same guy I
Yes.
picked out. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that seems mighty strange that no video footage or camera footage or anything ever
If
came up in this whole investigation.
listen to me, if a known Crip or a known blood would have dressed up like appeared to be somebody who tried to appear to be the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, if they would have dressed up there talking about they was committing a murder, the Nation of Islam would have had them answer to that.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, because they didn't play that. Farrakhan and them, if it had got
Exactly.
anywhere
Yeah.
near them, they believe in, checking their people and chastising their people. So
Right.
I kind of felt like there's a conspiracy and a cover up, definitely from the Los Angeles Police Department, possibly, even on up, possibly.
They listen to me. It was told to me that one of the superiors said that we was not gonna mess up our relationship with the Los Angeles Police Department because of some fat black drug dealing rapper got shot.
Wow. We talking about a multi-million-dollar lawsuit possibly that his family could definitely inherit possibly. Now tell me about his Charlie Baltimore, because I noticed she wasn't in none of the documentaries or none of the movie, and I know that she played a big part in Big's life. Like, was
Yeah,
that
big.
intentional?
That was Big's girl. Yeah, that was intentional. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize faith holds the key to all big stuff. That was his wife.
Okay, so they were still legally married when he
They were still
when he
legally
died.
married when he died. So
Were
she gets a large percentage of all that stuff. She may
correct.
share it with Miss Wallace and his kids and everything like that, but she don't have to if she don't want to. She was the wife.
Now there was supposed to have been a promise or something made by Puff Daddy to make sure that Miss Wallace and his heirs, Biggie's heirs, would be taken care of after his death. Do you know if that is true or if that ever came to fruition?
Only thing they got from Puff is what Big earned. Nothing extra that
Mm.
I know of.
Diddy had a lot of artists on Bad Boy from, you got Mary J. Blige, Faith, you got Mace, you got Charlie Baltimore, you got, Big, you got the
But they wasn't
Locks.
they wasn't Charlie Baltimore wasn't signed to him. Mary wasn't signed to him.
Oh,
That's
they
all.
never signed to Bad Boy?
They wasn't signed to Bad Boy. That's all bullshit. Mary being on that was all bullshit. Mary never been on Bad Boy.
What?
Nah,
Well, she was on Uptown.
she was on Uptown.
Gotcha, gotcha. And that was Andre Harrell's
Right. That was
right
Andre Ray.
thing, right?
Charlie Baltimore
Okay.
didn't get a chance to sign to Big them, but she was going to be signed on Big's label. Big had just received the contract because he was leaving Bad Boy. He had already did his 3-record deal, and he was leaving. But the thing about it, he had to stay in cool with Puff because Puff owned his publishing and his marketing.
And it's my understanding that to this day he still does, correct?
I don't think. I think he sold it to them peoples.
Oh
He
wow.
sold his percentage, and it's not. They not do the whole full thing until over 50 years. I think something like that.
Right.
Same thing that happened
Jeez.
to Mace.
Yeah. So I know Mark Curry wrote a book about his days with Bad Boy and his experience with Puff. When is your book? When can we expect your book out?
I'm trying to get it out before September. It's just it's what happens is that I'm gonna have to scale back and I'm gonna have to put it up until the night Big got killed. But after Big's death, my life didn't stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was still a parole officer. I still had to go through all this investigation and things that I went through. But what happens is that I got caught up in another big time beef, and that led to 50 Cent being shot.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah, 50 the night before 50 got shot, he came to my house, and I tried to give him a vest.
A bulletproof vest?
Yeah, a cover for the one he had,
Oh wow.
because I knew it was going down.
And he didn't take it?
He took it, but it didn't fit. It didn't fit. Because I think I was like 2X or 3X at the time. 50, he wasn't that big. And then,
Right. Are you still cool with 50 right now? Are you
oh
still
yeah,
cool
yeah.
with
Like if he see me, he always show respect. Hey, Gene, what up? What's going on, Gene, or whatever like that. Has
Okay.
he ever done anything for me? Nah.
Well, I don't think neither has Puff, right? Puff gotta be awfully pissed off with you right about now
No.
for
How you gonna be pissed off for somebody telling the truth? See, listen here.
the
I
truth,
know
cause
I
the
told.
truth hurt. Cause the truth hurt.
Yeah, but you got to look at this. You got to look at it in this way. He probably hurt that I'm letting everybody know what's going on. But pissed off at me, he know I'm honorable. He know that I don't go for the bullshit. And if he wouldn't have told a lie and tried to minimize what we did, he tried to minimize like we didn't know. He gets on telling me, yo, we didn't know. We was young. He tried. No, we told you. Anthony Wolf Jones was his
Wolf.
right-hand man. And he didn't go to Cali. He didn't go to Cali. He told Puff, if you're not taking two tour buses out there with all my goons, I'm not going.
So
how you
Wolf
gonna
knew
say
something
that?
was up too.
Huh?
I said Wolf obviously knew something was up too.
Yeah. Everybody who didn't know what was up. Pac was dead less than 6 months. Everybody knew what was up. Them guys from LA was not gonna let nobody walk out of Bad Boy from Bad Boy walk out of LA without something happened to them. How do they look?
Right. So it really was that whole East Coast, West Coast beef. But it was was it more really Suge and Puff?
It was more really Suge and Puff.
Wow. And Biggie and Pac was
They
casualties of
got caught
war.
up in there because they was Big and Pop was as soon as Big got his label back, was gonna have his label. If Pop was alive, they would have been because Pop was gonna have his own label. They would have got back cool. They just went through some bullshit as kids. You know, because Big told me right up there, he said, "Yo, man, I don't know why dude acting like that. I don't know why dude mad at me." I told him, and the people should have told Big when Pac was in jail. Jasmine Guy and Jada Pinkett was going around trying to get money for his legal defense, right? Big ain't had no money to give him, but ain't nobody tell Big, "Yo, Big, go do a show."
Right. To make some
Big,
money.
to make some money and get a door to Pac them for them. Let Jazz and them collect the money and do the show up in the thing. Make a deal at the bar with them. Big would at that time. Big would have closed down everything.
Most definitely.
They had clubs in New York that hold 3,000 people. You understand? $100 a head. That's what.
Get 300,000.
That's 300,000 towards his legal defense.
Yep. Easy money. He was loved in New York. He was a
Right.
king. They loved him.
So and then people would have said, and all he had to do say, for my man legal defense. Everybody gonna buy a ticket.
For sure.
But nobody was in his ear like that.
Right. And they was young. And do you feel like Puff took advantage of a lot of them, his artists on Bad Boy Entertainment? Do you feel like Puff really did a lot of men? Because with the recent death of Black Rob and everything, and the way Black Rob died and broke, and
I don't have to say that because it's in black and white. You understand? He said it himself. Listen to the words he said. I did the same deals that Sony and Arista did to them. And if Arista and Sony was robbing black people all their life, what did he do?
same thing to his own people. So what was done to him, he did to his own people.
Oh, he didn't get it done to him. Go ahead. I don't hear Stretch.
Wow. Yeah. Stretch, you muted. You muted, Stretch. You got a question? You got no, You got a question, Stretch, you muted. You muted.
Yeah, I see it right there. Let me see.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay, there you go, Stretch. There you go.
Both of y'all can hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, let me ask you this question because I'm always thinking, and I know.
Stretch, hold up, Stretch. Hold up, bro. Pat ain't tell me you gonna be on the show, man.
I know.
He the producer. He the producer, owner of the radio show, and the engineer.
Yo, Pat, can I talk to him?
Yeah.
You can talk to him, Big G. He the boss man.
Oh, he the boss?
Yeah,
he the boss man.
What up,
look out, Chi-Town. Look out, Chi-Town. Talk to me for a minute. Look at. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it this way. Look at, church. I want you to preach. Look here. My thing is, I was listening to you, and I was listening to you talking about that night when Big got shot, about the car being parked on the corner. But I'm always putting stuff together in my head. So, and then you mentioned him getting his own label.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's just a coincidence by you mentioning that the man passed away the day after he got. You understand what I'm saying?
You guys, but listen, but look at this, bro. Check this out. Big has started a whole big beef with the Dog Pound them guys.
Yeah, I know them.
Right? By saying something on the radio in New York, and then somebody went over there and shot up the Dog Pound them video, and they Winnebago.
You talking about Snoop Dogg Pound them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So now, check this out. He goes out to L.A., and all the time, he was saying, yo, Snoop was trying to call me. Snoop was trying to call me, man. I ain't letting that nigga know where I'm at. I ain't letting them know where. They trying to portray that like this shit never happened. I'm right here listening to them kids talking. You know what I'm saying? What they saying now, Lil C's them saying now, it ain't what they was saying that day while we was out in California. You understand? Now listen to this. Now put yourself in this position. And you got to look at people, the way they communicate, words that they say, and their behavior.
Puff said, how dare this nigga? Yo, look how bold he was. He bring me to Lil Kim. He bring Lil Kim album and let me hear it. Right? But he didn't bring it to Bad Boy.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Junior Mafia. You understand? Little C's album.
Right.
All that was going to be under Diaz. That was him and Un's record label.
Right.
He wrote Little Kim. What D-Rock said on Tidal, he said, people don't know. Big wrote 6 albums.
Right.
Right? Now, Stretch, I want you to put this together for the audience and everybody. Patrice, just sit back and listen to this. You understand? And I want Stretch to put this together. Because this is how devious men think sometimes. He wrote Little Kim's album. He wrote his 2 albums. His 3 albums. 4 albums.
Right.
He wrote Lil C's album.
Okay,
He wrote
right.
Junior Mafia's album.
Right.
That's 6 albums, right?
Right.
If you look at the publishing, Big didn't put it in his name.
No.
Right?
Right.
He put the publishing in other people's name that he could trust to give him the money because he had signed his publishing over to who?
Puff.
For $200,000. Puff, he was robbing Puff.
Right.
From the money that was entitled to him because Puff paid for his publishing. Y'all don't think Puff knew that shit? People don't know Puff. People don't know Puff was upset about that shit. I done gave this nigga $200,000 and I know he wrote the whole motherfucking song, but he only took 5% of it or 10% of the song.
Right.
I'm gonna give 80 to my man Lil C's.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Lil C's, when he get that check, it come to me.
Right.
I'm gonna tell Kim. I'm gonna give her. I wrote the whole song. I'm gonna give her the whole song. Bust me down something. Y'all don't think Puff knew that shit? Why would he have this kid out in L.A.?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At the pop, because he didn't give a fuck about him. But Big had to adhere to a lot of his shit because he's trying to talk his way back into getting his whole publishing back from Puff. He trying to talk his way and getting his marketing back. So he can't say, yo, I can't fuck with him, I can't do this, because Puff already paid for it.
Right.
At the end of Big contract, it said, we'll talk about giving your marketing and your publishing back based on how this album do. He ain't making it.
Okay.
Nobody even ever asked, and producers and people in the industry know this. Well, how much insurance did Puff have on Big?
Right.
Because when you sign as an artist, they sign an insurance company. Because they put money. They make you sign an insurance agreement.
Right.
So how did Puff feel about when he found out that Big was starting his own label and he was taking Lil Kim, he was taking Junior Mafia?
Was already theirs.
Oh, okay.
He said it on one of these. What was on one of these recent documentaries? He said the nerve of this guy. People ain't looking at that body language. The nerve of him. That's how bold he was. He said the nerve of him. How you gonna do that? He ain't bring it to Bad Boy. Now, don't look at Puff.
Look at Big.
Take Puff out the equation. Look at the man who gave Puff the money to make Biggie.
Oh,
Clive
Davis.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Patrice? You mean Big
right.
J did the show down the block, and he couldn't do your show, and you told me you talk to him, you donate to his channel, you holler at him all the time?
Right.
How does she look?
Bad. I got you.
Yeah. Wow. That's a real eye opener right there. So do you plan?
And
do you?
Go ahead.
And people People ain't looking at all this stuff is in their face. All this stuff is in their
Right.
face and they not looking at it. But then when I come out there and I bring it to your eyes, oh, I'm some jealous, I'm some this. Man, I could sit back and pimp the mailman for the rest of my life. And I'll put my business out there. If a nigga can't live off $7,000 a month, it's something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Wow.
You
So
understand?
they pegging you a sellout, a snitch, or this or that because you're
And
telling the story. But what people don't realize is, as fans, as people that have bought their music for so many years and supported Bad Boy Entertainment and all the artists under that platform, we kind of have a right to know what went down. We are fans of
listen
Big,
to
we
me.
fans of Pac and all these other Bad Boy Entertainment. So we do have a right as consumers and as fans to know the
But let
truth.
me just and then let me just say this. And I gotta be totally honest with you. If Puff wouldn't have never lied on me and lied to Miss Wallace, I probably wouldn't have said a damn thing to nobody.
Okay.
What did he lie to Biggie's mom about you?
He said, yo, I don't know this guy and I don't know who he is. I don't know what they talking about. And because my fraternity brother was her bodyguard, he said, Miss Wallace, Gene is my fraternity brother. He with Puff all the time.
Right.
He lied to that dead man's mom.
Right.
You understand? That nigga lied on me like I didn't tell him and warn them. If I could only eat on security, but you know, I was state parole officer. I had a site for elite investigation. I never needed bodyguard. They needed me.
True
I
that.
didn't need them.
Right. Yeah.
That's what people gotta understand. They needed me because the crew that I was with, being with Chaz Williams, gave you green light all over the city, damn near all over the United States. That's Chaz
Right.
Williams, man.
Yeah.
That's Chaz Williams' right hand man. He with Chaz all the time. So Puff knew that. Yo, he be with Slick. Slick was one. If you go listen to that SNS Volume 4, Puff shout out all the strong crews and all the people that was in the streets in New York City. SNS Volume 4 is on YouTube.
Okay.
On the 20-minute mark, he said, what up, Slick? What up, Big G? 112 CB? He's just calling people out. And those are the people, if you know back in the day, they was kidnapping people, they was holding people hostages, they was robbing people, all like that. If you wasn't with a strong clique, you didn't make those moves.
That's right.
Got you. So how did Puff start?
I came forward.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just gonna ask, how did Bad Boy Entertainment come to be? How did that come to fruition and Puff Daddy start Bad Boy Entertainment?
Well, it was some other guys it's called Butt Naked Entertainment. That was Corey Jones and that was Lamont Wolf, some other people, stuff like that. They were giving promotional parties with Uptown Records and things like that. With this guy named Tim Dog. He was one of the producers, not the rapper, but Tim Dog. He produced the Lost Boys. He was over at Epic Records and he was over at Arista with Clyde Davis. Puff started Bad Boy because Corey and them was putting that money into the entertainment thing so they could start their own label. And that's how Bad Boy got started. When he was leaving
Uptown.
Uptown Records from the City College Tragedy thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, got you.
We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we getting ready to close. So I wanna hear people to Raw Deal, The Last Big Night 1, 2, and 3 on YouTube. You can go and exclusively hear Big Gene tell the story of what led to the murder of Notorious B.I.G., as well as there's something called the Dossier podcast. What's up?
Yeah, I don't want to cut you out right there, but I did. Don't you know some women had hit me in my DM And some guys too talking about they cried on part 3.
Listen, you know what? I did too. I did too. You know what got me, Big Gene?
Okay.
Those words that you said that you regret. You know what those words that you said that you regret not doing that night that happened when, when you didn't
Don't let
follow
a
your
dollar make
heart.
don't let a dollar make your sense.
Yep.
Right, right.
So making
Yeah.
that decision, yeah, because I did cry myself. I admit it because I had mad love for Big and Pac, and it's just sad to know that could have, they became casualty of wars, and that could have been avoided. You
Right.
know what I mean? If they ever had the opportunity to really have a sit down and work it out and chop it up as men. And that's a sad tragedy about it. But in closing, what is the biggest misconception you think people have about you speaking out? About Puff and your experience and Bad Boy and the death of Big. What do you think is the big misconception you want people to know where you are concerned? Because I know for me, I was listening to people going at you because they were saying you was Biggie's bodyguard. How could you let that happen? You was strapped, you was this and you was that. So I know that was a big misconception because you was specifically hired to bodyguard Puff and not Big. So what do you want people to know?
Well, see, I believe they already know, Pat. And if they don't, they some assholes. Because how can one person we had? This was in his entourage: Kim Porter, Sally Richardson, Stevie J, Big, C's, himself. You understand? Those were the stars that was around in his table and stuff next to each other in the whole 9 yards. How can one person look after all those people? And if I'm in the car with Diddy and we blow the light, how can I protect Big? The only way I could have protected Big if I would have continued to fight Puff and say, man, fuck it, I'm not getting in the car. I'm walking or I'm catching the cab. And I walked up to the corner because I wanted to stay on the outside of the car until we got 3 or 4 blocks away. You understand what I'm saying? So I think the biggest misconception that people have is this: I don't give a care. If you think I give a damn about what you think, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, can I curse? You say I can't curse?
Yeah, absolutely.
What they
No.
eat don't make me shit. No, what they eat don't make me shit. I knew I gave everything in my heart. It just hurts that one point of it is that everybody who knows me and I've ever been with somebody and I had to protect them, I will give my life. I'll put my life down on the line for them. You understand? Big was not my principal. You understand? But I knew he didn't have the right security. I knew what happened, but it wasn't my fault. But there's nothing I could have really done. I did all I could do other than warning them, other than keeping them safe until we got the chance to leave.
Right.
When Big was, when Big was upstairs, I had my gun out behind my back. So if somebody would have came right there, as soon as I would have seen it, my gun is already out. When that guy walked up to Puff car, I had my gun out. The FBI asked me. So the biggest misconception is if you think I give a shit about what you think or what you say, you're wrong. Listen, I dealt with convicted felons for 27 years, and I heard a whole lot of shit.
Right.
So I had to be a whole lot of not giving a damn.
Right.
All right?
Absolutely. Y'all heard it here first, right? On the Truth Now Talk Show. Big Gene, thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Please tell all your followers your social media handles where they can go and follow you, and also about your podcast and everything on YouTube.
I have a YouTube show. It's called Cooking and Conversation. where I really started off trying to help the young brothers entice these women by showing them how to cook some good soul food. You understand?
Okay.
But I end up having more women trying to learn how to cook.
Because we want to learn how to cook for our men and our husbands.
No, I had more women coming on and hit me up trying to learn how to cook for men. I was like, damn, I got this for the brothers now, you know. So you could tell them, say, yo, come on over, babe. I got fish and some spinach and some mac and cheese and cornbread. Who made it? Where you get it from? I made it myself. You know what I'm saying? That's where
Right.
it started off at. But then I started getting so many women saying, I tried your recipe, I tried your dessert. Oh, it was so good. And I was like, oh my God. So it's Cooking and Conversations, the Gene Deal Show on YouTube. Then on that whole segment, I have the Uncle Gene Show, and I have the Uncle Gene Show, and that's when I just do life situations and talk about life things. And then it's the Gene Deal Show. So it's like 3 shows in one: Cooking and Conversation, the Gene Deal Show, and the Uncle Gene Show.
Okay. And last but not least, once your book come out, do you plan on doing a book tour? Because we would
Oh,
love to get you in Vegas.
no doubt, I will be there. I'm doing a book tour, and because I had a book deal with Simon and Schuster, and you know they gave me a
Did
deal for
somebody try to stop
75,000.
that?
Oh, they gave me a deal for 75,000, and then old boy stopped it. He used his influence to get it stopped. So I walked away with
Wow.
25 of that 75,000. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's life.
It's gonna come out. So let me ask you one last question. So did you see the BET Awards?
Yeah, I did. I see part of it.
All right. So P. Diddy came out and said, kind of giving Lil Nas X kudos for his show, kind of giving kudos and kind of, representing that part of that the alphabet soup. So what do you say about that? Because you know about the rumors of that, going around with Diddy and all of that. What do you have to say about that?
Well, listen, I'm a firm believer in manhood, scholarship, and perseverance. And I don't think giving any man kudos for kissing another man, even though that's their thing, makes you brave, makes you strong, or makes you anything that makes you anything.
Right.
I believe that you're less than a man.
Yeah.
And what he did was, and he got to understand, we got little kids and we got guys, little kids out here that's looking for strong male and strong men to guide them. And to have somebody giving somebody kudos for kissing another man in the mouth and showing that type of behavior.
And that's not hip hop that I know and remember.
We know it ain't hip hop.
So it's an agenda being pushed.
We all know that. And I don't care. I got the LGBT going after me, and I got people coming at me. But listen here, if you ain't representing manhood, scholarship, and perseverance, keep on coming. Because that's what I'm about.
I hear you. Well, thank you, Big Gene. Again, I appreciate you, King. Thank you
All right.
so much for
Okay.
blessing us with your presence on the
All right.
platform. And I wish you all the best. And you better make sure that when you do that book tour, you coming out here with us, because we gonna have you in person on
All
the
right.
radio show, and
Okay.
we gonna set you up with the book tour right in Vegas.
All right. I appreciate that.
All right, King. Talk to you.
All right.
Thank you so much, and God
Okay.
bless.
All right. Thank you. Later.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Y'all heard it from the horse's mouth himself. Big Gene Deal, from the Raw Deal, The Last Big Night. Check that docu-series out on YouTube. I promise y'all, it's gonna make you cry to listen to him walk you through the whole beginning story from beginning to end of the night that Biggie got shot. I'm so honored that I got to do this interview with him because I did want to hear from the horse's mouth. Shout out to Antonita Lachey, my sis. Shout out to you, DJ Stretch. Shout out to the whole hot 89.1 FM WSLS out of Vegas on your streaming platform for allowing the Truth Now talk show to do this exclusive interview. It was a bombshell. So Stretch, what you think in closing?
Well, yeah, I love the information and all that good stuff because, I wouldn't. I'm not in charge of the interview, so I had to sit back.
Right.
But I had a few questions, but I said, oh no, I'm gonna let Patrice go ahead and do her thing. Now I gotta let her
Now,
do her
no,
thing.
no, I mean, but you asked something, you asked the question, so I'm glad that you kind of came in and chimed in with a little a male perspective on things. You kind of brought a whole, took it to a whole new level and made him, tell another story and make a curve
Yeah.
to that whole man thing when he said, "Hey, Patrice, you don't say nothing, just let me ask Stress this question." I was like, "Okay,
But I really wanted to ask him, Patrice, because he dealt with Biggie, and I know he kind of dealt with Pac, because when
yeah,
we were back in that realm when you were close anyway.
absolutely."
Um, and I wanted to ask him where was he, and I don't know if y'all he talked about that or whatever because I had to walk off.
Hmm.
But I wanted to know if he said where he was when Pac came to the hotel, supposed to came to the hotel and got shot, and Biggie was upstairs. Did he say anything about that where he was at that
No,
time?
he did not.
Okay. Okay.
Prior to our interview, because some things he's going to reveal in his book about the whole Pac
Oh.
situation.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me that was the only thing that kind of he didn't want to, want me to ask him questions about. So out of respect, of course, and hey, you got to save something for the book, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
got a plethora of stories to tell. So I just know that book gonna be a number one bestseller, and for the powers that be to stop it coming to fruition the first time, he obviously don't want something to be told, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
but
He,
I just got a feeling that Big Gene gonna make it happen. I'm definitely gonna be right there. I want to get him to Vegas. I want us to interview him in person next time when he doing the book tours, so we can get things set up. So, because I know it's gonna be a number one. It's gonna be a lot of people that want to meet him and purchase his book in person and have him autograph it. So something like that, I would love to do. In the near future once the book come out and he start a tour. So hopefully we can get that exclusive. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, all I'm gonna say is he can start to he come to Vegas. Security gonna need security.
Exactly. Exactly. But you know
That's
what I
all.
mean. But he know some people. I think he told me he know the guy that did security for Michael Jackson that lives there in Vegas. I know he's retired now, but Big G knows some people. So yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He'll work it out. He'll get it together. I'm pretty sure. Right now, with that people coming at him and threats and different things, he know what he doing. He got to protect himself, and hopefully, God willing, that he stay safe and stay out of harm's way. But I'm just honored. I'm so glad that I got a chance to finally get the interview and make it happen. Because it was big. It was big, and people needed to hear you know, uh, that side of the story from someone that was there that witnessed things. So
You know
I
what?
wanted to make that happen.
Let me tell you something that happened because it happened the last time we did. As soon as we played the track, Facebook, they did the same
Yeah.
thing. They did the
Oh,
same
they
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So by
what?
by let by let you guys go ahead and do what you had to do because what I'm going to do, I'm going to download and do some stuff in
Okay.
there. And then
Okay.
I thought about it. I said, now he's talking about what happened. Then I thought, well, maybe it wasn't been Facebook. Maybe it might have been somebody else that didn't want us to.
Look, you never know. Listen, because it was public, right? We put it on the
Right,
public
right,
platforms that we were interviewing him. So, hey, you never know. People be behind the scenes, I mean, trying to make things not happen. He's not lying about that for sure, because I do know that his book did get, the powers that be, the gatekeepers,
right.
they definitely, stopped it. But hopefully now he'll, be able to make that happen. So I wish him all the best, and I thank him and appreciate him for coming on the Truth Now talk show. And I thank Hot 89.1 FM WSLS for allowing that to happen and making it happen on your platform. So
Well,
Much love and
you
appreciation,
part
and
of
shout out to you guys.
you part of the radio station anyway, so
I know I appreciate it, and shout out to my sis Antonita Lachey. I usually have my partner in crime here because I
right,
know she would have had some questions too.
right,
You know what I mean? So, but it's okay. It'll be another time because if he come to Vegas on
right.
that book tour, we gonna have the exclusive.
And
We
and
gonna
and
get him in there with us, live and in
right.
living color.
And Patrice, let me tell you this. He's not on here now, but
Yeah.
he's not the only one that mentioned Clive Davis
Oh no no no
that you
no
guys
for
that you
sure.
guys interviewed. So I was like,
Yeah. Oh
Clive
yeah,
was doing,
Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright mentioned,
yeah,
yeah. And honestly, I forgot to ask Gene, but Gene did back up and said that a lot of stuff that Jaguar Wright told us in the interview was true as well. So
right.
he said that on some of his YouTube stuff when Jaguar Wright first went viral. He did. He said she ain't lying.
I
She
believe,
telling the truth. So,
yeah,
people need to look at that. I would just encourage them to go and watch uh uh what is it called? Raw Deal, The Last Big Night. It's on YouTube. It's 3 episodes. It's a docu-series where he is sitting there literally, and I will tell you, it did make me cry. It really did.
mhm,
Because his last words and Mark reverse was he wish he hadn't have listened. He wish he hadn't have listened to P. Diddy and followed his mind. And but that's neither here nor there. And also his YouTube platforms, Cooking and Conversation, Big Gene. The brother also tells a lot of stories that we didn't get to. He tells a lot of Mary J. Blige stories, Faith Evans stories, May stories. He tells a lot of stories on there about other Bad Boy Entertainment artists as well. And he spilled the beans and talk about a lot of stuff, that Puff Daddy allegedly, I gotta say allegedly did. But thank you so
right.
much. We appreciate you. In closing, we wish you guys well. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. And I'm signing off. DJ Stretch, thank you so much. I appreciate all your engineering services as well. You was keep holding it down when the audio went out. Like, I don't know what happened. Gene had to go back out and come back in, but we made it worked out. So I know you probably guys can probably edit, make it right. But I'm signing
Well, yeah,
off.
but ain't nothing like being
Yeah,
real. So keep
I,
everything just.
I
I'm gonna
love
keep
it. I
everything real.
love it. Right
Keep
on. It was
everything
it
real.
was so real. It was so 100. I felt like we were having a conversation. It wasn't more like an interview. It was like a back and forth, like a
Right,
conversation. And I learned
right,
so much every time.
right.
I'm getting more and more information and in depth on what happened, with the whole Bad Boy and the whole Biggie thing. And it's sad, it's the story is just sad because we lost two greats, two icons that still should be
Yeah,
living
yeah.
and making a difference with their music. So
Guess
yeah,
what?
I
Guess what?
believe if they was living, a lot of the buffoonery that goes on now in hip hop wouldn't even be going on because that just was not hip hop. The stuff that I witnessed on the BT Awards, yeah, I was like, nah, I
Well,
don't. Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't like the kissing of the. See,
Yeah, man, and no shot and no shade to the LGBTQ community. It's just that hip hop is hip hop, and we come from a culture where it just, I don't know, they pushing this agenda. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to say about that. They pushing this agenda,
yeah.
and we got children watching these awards. We got it just, come on, come
But
on, come
but
on.
you got to remember. You got to remember because we can talk about that. But I'm gonna say this. You got to remember even on that show. You got to remember what holiday it was for them, and it was on their holiday weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
true
you
that.
understand? You understand? So that's why you had so many
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
show.
yeah. It
Okay,
was a, yeah, yep, you're right. It was a lot. And now we know that BET is being ran by, you know, uh no, people of non-color, you
right,
understand, that has people that push these agendas, right? So, and it's being talked about all over social media, like Choke No Joke, shout out to
right.
him, that's been telling us for years about Diddy and about all these people in BET behind the scenes that were
Mhm.
pulling strings, that were gatekeepers, that was blackballing people, stopping his career because he wouldn't be down
Right.
with that gang. You know what I mean? The go along, get along gang, as
Right.
Kwame Brown said.
Right.
Shout out to Kwame Brown. But yeah, you know, so you know, it's just a lot going on, and I've been stopped watching like the Grammys, and I
Right.
regret. It's like I'm gonna stop watching
It's
this stuff
crazy.
because it's not about, you know, the black music and the love of the black music anymore with the BET Awards. It's named
Well,
something else.
well, let me ask you this before we go.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to somebody today. They called me on the phone, asked me about a whole bunch of stuff. That I said the award show used to have what we call soul.
Yep.
It ain't that no more, girl. Do you think?
Yeah, it's
What do you
gone.
think? Okay, I just want
It's
to know
gone.
if you feel like I feel, because
The soul is gone.
ain't no soul.
They have
Ain't no
took
soul.
the soul out of Soul Train. They done took the soul out of BET.
Right.
They done took the soul out of all forms of the black entertainment. It's
Right.
something else now.
Right. Took the soul gone. Ain't no. You know, I gotta let you. We can talk about this, but ain't no Frankie Beverly Mays and Alley Brothers and
Oh,
so on thing.
man.
Ain't none of that. Ain't nobody getting. I'm like, where the
I
soul at, baby?
can name a handful of musicians and artists now that I really appreciate their music, and literally, I mean, on one hand, I can name them. You know what I mean? They just not making the music the same. The soul is not in the music, the content, the lyrics, none of that. It's just like it's gone. And then the award shows, it's like it's a bunch of buffoonery to me. It's just a bunch of buffoonery. You know, I ain't down with it at all. Not at all.
So now you know what we play on the radio station. We talked to you about that one day, Southern Soul.
Yep.
So if anybody's out there listening right now, which I know they will be, if you just tired of listening to whatever's going on TV, go get some Southern Soul, get some blues.
Yeah,
in
89.1 FM, bring the soul. WSLS, bring the soul. Thank you so much for keeping soul alive. They say keep soul alive. Keep soul alive.
Keep it alive. We're gonna keep it alive, baby.
We got to. Look, if we don't, somebody got to do it. We might as well do it, right?
That's right.
We might as well be us, right? Somebody's got to do it, as they say.
That's right.
Because I don't know what's going on in some of these other radio streams, you know, with all this up and down elevated craziness that they playing. It's like, come on now, we not for we black folk here.
Right.
And you pushing some agenda instead of pushing the music.
Right. I'd rather play us music than play whatever.
Exactly. Every day, all day.
All day.
All right, King, I appreciate you. I'm signing off.
All right, Queen, we're gonna let you.
It's been nice. All right. Take care now.
Right,
bye, listeners.
Yeah, bye, y'all.
Hey.
Bye, Patrice. I'm all right.
All right.
All right, peace out.
You're listening to one of the best internet radio stations around. You're listening to
Hot 89.1 FM.
Hey girl, I've been calling you all day. Where you at and what are you doing?
Oh, just sitting here enjoying a glass of Moscato, chilling and relaxing, deep inside the stepper's comfort zone of Swagger and Lace with DJ Stretch.
Oh yeah? How can I be doing?